Hello, fellow boomers! It is good to see you coming back to our channel, and for the new watchers, welcome! Remember this famous quote from the movie The Matrix? What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. You may also recall the quote from Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. You will be required to do wrong no matter where you go. It is the basic condition of life to be required to violate your own identity. At some point, every creature which lives must do so. It is the ultimate shadow, the defeat of creation. This is the curse at work, the curse that feeds on all life, everywhere in the universe. The science fiction enthusiast among our audience may remember the following quote from Brave New World by Aldous Huxley that speaks to resistance against brainwashing and manipulation in a highly controlled society, echoing themes of mental autonomy. But I don't want comfort. I want God. I want poetry. I want real danger. I want freedom. I want goodness. I want sin. These quotes were not brought to you by chance. They were brought to you as a preface for a video that will discover for you the future of the interface between human brains and consciousness to machines and computers. We are approaching an era where machines might gain the capability to interface directly with the human brain, manipulating our thoughts, emotions, and consciousness. This raises profound questions about control, identity, and the essence of what it means to be human. Are we ready for a future where the boundaries between man and machine blur like never before? Stay with us because in this video we will discuss these serious questions and dilemmas that can affect baby boomers and other segments of humanity. The historian Yuval Noah Harari warns, humanity is on the brink of a revolution that could redefine what it means to be human. With advancements in biotechnology and artificial intelligence, we may soon face a world where individuals merge with technology, creating a class of enhanced cyborgs with superior capabilities. Harari cautions that this could exacerbate inequality, as those who control the technology and the data driving it will hold unparalleled power. He notes, once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it, raising concerns about the ability to manipulate human thoughts, emotions, and decisions. This shift, Harari suggests, could mark the end of liberal humanism, as algorithms may come to know us better than we know ourselves, challenging the very concept of free will. What Harari is talking about is very real and happening right now. We're talking about brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs as the tech folks call them. Now you might be thinking, what in the world does that mean? Well, stick with me because we'll start with the positive things this technology could bring. Let's take, for example, treating mental conditions that many of us or our loved ones face. Advances in brain-machine interfaces and neurotechnology hold incredible potential to transform mental health treatment. These technologies could enable us to directly address conditions like depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress by rewiring neural pathways or modulating brain activity. Imagine a future where disturbing memories can be softened or recontextualized, helping individuals overcome trauma. Stress relief might no longer depend on years of therapy or use of psychiatric drugs, but instead on precise, targeted interventions that reshape the brain's responses. This emerging frontier offers hope for millions, promising not only healing but also a profound shift in how we understand and care for the human mind. On the other hand, this technology has their dark side, but before we delve into it, make sure to stay with us while we cover briefly the history and the latest developments of these technologies. Remember back in the Cold War era, when there were all those wild stories about mind control? As it turns out, there was some truth to those tales. The CIA actually had a program called MK-Ultra that investigated the possibility of controlling human thoughts. The KGB, the Soviet Union's intelligence agency, reportedly also conducted extensive research into mind control and psychological manipulation as part of its broader espionage and psychological warfare efforts. Driven by fears of falling behind Western advancements, particularly the CIA's MK-Ultra program, the KGB explored methods to influence, control, or disrupt human thought processes. These efforts included experiments with hypnosis, psychotropic drugs, and techniques for manipulating behavior through fear, coercion, and disinformation. While much of this research remains shrouded in secrecy, it underscores the intense competition between superpowers to weaponize the human mind as a battlefield, blurring the lines between science, espionage, and ethics. Dr. Sarah Johnson, a historian specializing in Cold War studies, explains, "The government's interest in mind control wasn't just paranoia, it was a real research program that laid some of the groundwork for our modern understanding of the brain." While the ethical implications of MKUltra were questionable, it sparked curiosity about the human mind that continues to drive research today. From those controversial beginnings, we've made incredible strides in understanding how our brains function. It's a reminder that even the darkest chapters of history can sometimes lead to unexpected scientific progress. But here's where things get really interesting. Today's scientists aren't trying to control minds, they're working on something much more beneficial. They're developing ways for our brains to communicate directly with computers. Dr. Michael Chang, a leading researcher in the field, puts it this way. Think of it as creating a bridge between your thoughts and the outside world. It's like having a translator that turns what you're thinking into actions, whether that's moving a prosthetic limb or helping manage symptoms of depression. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds complicated and maybe a little scary. But let's break it down in terms we can all understand. These BCIs are essentially sophisticated tools that can read the electrical signals our brains naturally produce. It's not so different from how a heart monitor reads our heartbeat, except it's reading our brain activity. Two companies are leading the charge in this field, and they're taking different approaches. First, there's Motif, which is developing what we might call a gentle approach. Their technology is less invasive and specifically focused on helping people with mental health issues, as Dr. Rebecca Martinez from Motif explains.
We're creating systems that can help regulate mood and emotional processing, much like a pacemaker helps regulate heart rhythm.
Then there's Neuralink, founded by Elon Musk. Yes, the same fellow who's sending rockets into space. Their approach is more extensive, involving tiny threads placed in the brain. Dr. James Wilson, a neurosurgery expert, notes,
"While Neuralink's approach is more complex, it could potentially offer more precise control and broader applications."
On one hand, the potential for good is remarkable. Brain-computer interfaces are already showing promise in treating conditions like depression and PTSD. For instance, researchers at DARPA are developing neural implants that could regulate mood disorders by delivering precise electrical stimulation to targeted brain regions. Such technologies could offer hope to millions, alleviating suffering and even enhancing cognitive abilities beyond our natural limits. This means a world where knowledge could be uploaded directly to the brain, or where people with neurodegenerative diseases could regain lost functions. These possibilities inspire visions of a future where humanity overcomes its most significant biological limitations. Yet, the darker side of this frontier is equally compelling. If such technology is weaponized, it could become a tool of control and oppression. Governments or corporations could exploit neural interfaces to manipulate emotions, engineer compliance, or suppress dissent. For example, recent studies in China have explored wearable devices that monitor workers' emotional states, sparking concerns about surveillance and coercion in the workplace. As Harari cautions, the emergence of a cyborg elite, those who can afford brain enhancements, could exacerbate inequality, creating a society divided between enhanced and non-enhanced humans. The tension between these utopian and dystopian visions is profound. Brain-hacking technologies hold the promise of unprecedented breakthroughs, but also the threat of unparalleled abuses. The question is not just whether we can develop these capabilities, but how we choose to use them. The choices we make today will determine whether these technologies become tools of liberation or instruments of control. Looking to the future, the possibilities are truly remarkable. Imagine being able to enhance memory as we age, or communicate with our loved ones just by thinking. We might see a world where conditions like Alzheimer's can be managed more effectively, where stroke recovery is faster, and where mental health treatment is more precise and personalized than ever before. But perhaps the most important aspect of all this is how it might help us maintain our independence as we age. As Retirement Community Director Thomas Brown observes,
the ability to maintain mental clarity and physical function through technological assistance could revolutionize how we experience our golden years.
As Dr. Margaret Wyson says,
every major medical advance in history has faced initial skepticism. What matters is that we evaluate new technologies carefully and ensure they truly serve human needs.
As technology advances at an unprecedented pace, the concept of hacking the human brain, once confined to science fiction, is becoming a potential reality. Researchers at the forefront of neuroscience and AI are developing methods to decode neural activity, allowing for the interpretation of thoughts and emotions. For example, teams at institutions like the University of California, San Francisco, have created devices that can translate brain signals into speech for patients with paralysis. Meanwhile, companies like Neuralink are working on brain-machine interfaces capable of direct two-way communication between humans and computers. But these breakthroughs come with profound implications. If neural signals can be read, would someone else be able to read our thoughts? Could they also be manipulated? Could external forces implant thoughts, rewrite memories, or control behavior? The possibility of remotely influencing the brain introduces a host of ethical and security concerns. Yuval Noah Harari has warned that once we can hack human minds, we open the door to a future where autonomy is undermined and humanity itself is fundamentally reshaped. We are on the cusp of a new era where technology has the potential to fundamentally transform what it means to be human. The possibilities are both extraordinary and unsettling. On one hand, brain-computer interfaces and neural technologies promise groundbreaking advancements in treating mental health conditions and physical disabilities. On the other hand, they carry the chilling potential for misuse, including manipulation and control. The decisions we make now, both individually and as a society, will determine whether these innovations pave the way for a brighter, more interconnected future, or push us toward a divided, dystopian reality. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the intersection of technology and the human mind. Share your perspective in the comments below. If you found this video engaging, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue exploring and discussing the vital questions of our time. Together, let's face the future with open minds and informed choices.